to get a quorum. We need one more for a quorum, I believe. And here we go. Hello, Ellen. Spring transportation. Hey, Raquel.
Hello, good afternoon. Can everybody hear me? Is my mic working?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Hey, guys.
Watch this.
Oh. Hello. Sorry, I got a little squealer here with me.
And your screen is flashing. It looks like it could be a poltergeist.
Oh, am I like a techno rave over here with the?
Yeah.
Let me see.
No, now you're fine. I don't know what it was, but you're
okay.
Fine. So it actually looked like maybe they were like police lights in the background.
Oh my gosh.
No, you're good. Okay, Branda is on, and we're just waiting for our last board member. As far as I know, everybody could be on tonight. So
yeah, okay. Let's give it a minute for.
Yeah.
Did the national anthem play a little early today? Yeah, well, 2 minutes early there. All right, I texted Mark just to make sure. Make sure we don't have any.
Mama.
there we go.
All right, there he is.
All right, and Madam President, it is 4 o'clock. You can call us to order if you'd like.
All right, I will go ahead and call this meeting to order. We can bypass the Pledge of Allegiance for this meeting, and we'll go ahead and.
There, you're back. Okay, we lost you there for a little bit, Madam President.
I'm so sorry. I'm in like the corner of my house. So let me find another location. But if we want to do, is the preview of agenda good?
Yes, we're good to go.
Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and do communications and reports. Is Raquel on here? I think I heard her.
I am.
All right. Hi, Raquel. Go ahead.
Hey, all right. So I just have a couple things. So recently, as of the end of last week, the Secretary of Defense issued a mask memo for all property on federal land, basically, and how we need to operate. The good news about that is Minot Public Schools has a mask policy, as does our base. So we're not going to see a lot of changes based on that. I was basically saying we got to wear our mask. So yay, that we don't have to make any major changes from that. Also, my two other things, we are, I mean, I know it's February, but I just want to remind everybody that the last day of yellowfin busing on the base is going to be April 2nd. So we're closer to that than far. So I just want to put that on everybody's radar. And then the only other thing I have is also talking about the month of April. I mentioned it, at our last meeting that we have Month of the Military Child during the month of April. I know that our on-base schools, they're looking at doing a dress-up week. I think we've got that scheduled, and we are ready to let everybody know about that in the coming weeks. Besides that, we have a lot of events that are going to happen on base. We're talking with the Chamber of Commerce to see about some things happening off base, but it looks like we're going to have everybody on board to do a really cool Month of Military Child in the Minot community. And then our official day to wear purple, again, is April 16th. So I would love if we could get everybody on board to participate in that. And then my only other request is if our board meetings that month, if we could highlight that at both the downtown and the Minot Air Force Base board meetings that month, I would greatly appreciate that so that, everybody knows that we are all on the same team here celebrating our kids for the month. But that's really all I have pending any questions from the group.
All right, any questions for Raquel? All right, thanks Raquel, we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right, Dr. Vollmer, COVID update.
Yeah, boy, things are looking much better than they were. We have very few quarantines or isolations right now. We are following different protocols in our in-town schools and base schools. We still, whether masked or not, on Minot Air Force Base students, are required to quarantine. So that is for the Air Force requirements in the Public Health Office at Minot Air Force Base. We're happy to comply with that. I want everybody to know that, though, because if you ever get phone calls from anyone, first of all, please feel free to refer them to me. But, we might get phone calls saying, how come a child who goes to school that's a military dependent in town, it doesn't have to follow the same rules on the base? And that is just how that is. And it is more stringent on Minot Air Force Base. So we continue to follow those rules as per the recommendation. Our reintegration committee has been busy. We did determine to continue masking for the time being. And again, that has a lot to do, even though the numbers are lower right now. If both parties aren't masked, we're right back in doing quarantines for kids. And, although it might be nice to not have to wear a mask all the time, we're looking forward to our, wrap up of our seasons and state tournaments and music contests and drama and all of these other things. Maybe prom, maybe like in-person graduation, so we're going to remain cautious and continue to look at that for the time being. The committee does meet again on Thursday. I will not be at that committee meeting, however, because of a death in the family. I'll be out of town that day. But we are continuing masking for the time being. We are in our in-town school starting to allow some more activities from outside groups. So we're allowing groups to come in on a limited basis to do that. We're getting more people at games now. The under state law in green, we're allowed to go up to 75% of occupancy. So that has changed the activities a little bit. We still do ask people to mask at our activities. We are allowing in-state travel for students, but we are saying no out-of-state travel at this time. And that was a tough one because we have a group of music students that go to Florida in early June. We had to either make a decision now or not. And if we decided to go and then we had to cancel, we would have lost money. Students would have lost money on that trip. So it's a tough one to take. But, the way numbers are trending in certain areas around the country, we just didn't feel it would be reasonable or prudent to send kids to Florida, have them get COVID or have to quarantine, and then how would we handle that with adults? So had a lot of conversation with staff about travel. We don't tell people they can't take leave, but we really do encourage people before they travel any place to evaluate what the Center for Disease Control is saying about travel areas and infection rates in those areas. Our parent-teacher conferences are just around the corner. We've determined that they will be virtual again this spring. And because it's usually not just the parents coming into the school, oftentimes it's siblings and a lot of people in the building. We have a protocol for doing so. This spring, we will do our parent-teacher conferences virtually. Any food being brought into classrooms needs to be prepackaged, and not know if we have banquets or events or anything else. It's got to be plated food. We're not and served by someone, so we don't have buffet lines and all of that going on. And we are, I think, the first large school district in North Dakota that is offering Binex testing, the rapid test at all of our sites for our staff. We test weekly, and we're very happy to be able to continue that. We are cautiously optimistic at this time, and as we hear about new strains and we hear about a lot of other discussions, it is daunting, to say the least. But we're going to try to keep going because, as we said, it would really be nice to have this senior class have the opportunity to have a prom and a graduation, and for our students to be able to participate and get away eventually from having to have the masks and all of that. So we continue to discuss, but I'll stand for any questions you might have.
Any questions for Dr. Vollmer? No? All right. Thank you, Dr. Vollmer.
You bet.
All right, approval of minutes. You guys had a chance to look over those minutes from the last meeting. Can I get a motion to approve those?
I move to approve.
Do we have a second?
I second.
All right. Roll call, Scott?
Reed,
Yes.
Tanner,
Yes.
Bengals,
Yes.
Nemish,
Yes.
Keen.
Yes. All right, let's go ahead and do financial reports and bills.
All right, you should have in front of you the December financial reports and December bills. You can see our general fund is at 6.7 million and our building fund is at a negative 785. I think we're pretty much done with that roofing project, so we'll zero that out. As far as bills, sanitation, busing, fiber connection, utilities, and a little bit of mileage, total of $47,562.91 for the month. I don't have anything unless someone has a question.
All right, do we have a motion to approve the financial reports?
So moved.
I'll second. All right, roll call?
Tanner,
Yes.
Bengals,
Yes.
Nemish,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Keen.
Yes. All right, any old business? All righty, on to new business.
Resignations, I'd love to tell you we don't have that many, but I'm afraid to tell you we've got a boatload, especially at the secondary level. There's a couple of concerns that I want to point out to you a little bit. Some high need areas. Right now, we have Jesse Cook, Social Studies, Magic City, Chuck Kranz. These are all retirements now, by the way, or most of them anyway. Chuck Kranz is retiring as an assistant principal at Central. Bill McCann is retiring as a social worker at Central. Sue Pakalak is retiring at Memorial. Lacey Ekman is a health careers teacher at Magic City campus. She is moving out of state. Angie Edison has been teaching for many years at Magic City campus. She is retiring this year as well. James Ritchie, the lieutenant in the ROTC program, has announced his retirement. Nolan Spooner, who is a science teacher at Central, has announced that he will be leaving the area, not retiring, but he'll be moving out of state as well. In addition, we just got resignation from, I believe, 2 music people at the high school level because the board in town has not acted on those yet. I won't say too much about that, but I do want you to know with what we had last month and this month, we have science openings, we have math openings, we have many hard to fill areas. We're going to start advertising right away. We do an in-town, we do a in-staff transfer round, so people have an opportunity to transfer into positions. But that being said, we want to have a pool of applicants ready, so when that transfer round is done, that we can start interviewing outside applicants. Music, math, English, science, they're all very, very hard positions to fill. So, and we talked to Raquel a little bit too. If you know of anybody moving in that summer transfer round, and Kristen too, we talked about this, by all means, if they're a teacher, have them reach out to us right away, because we'll be looking at doing some hiring soon. We have very, very few elementary retirements this year. Most are at secondary. So we're going to be just working hard to fill those, but just wanted you to know with our next meeting, I'll give you the report. I do want to say that we have, it's not early retirement, but we ask our retirees to notify us by February 15th. That helps us for our planning for upcoming years. So by the next meeting, we'll have more of a complete list of individuals. So we will be hitting the pavement hard looking for teachers. So if you know of any teachers in those areas, please keep that in mind, okay? And that's all I have on that.
Dr. Wilmer, I have a question. Did you say you did talk to Raquel about that?
We talked, and I don't think Raquel and I have had a chance to. I sometimes forget where I'm at, so it's
no problems. Raquel, just to kind of fill you in, I know you have an awesome Facebook following and group, and one of the spouses that's moving here this summer even posted on our family's page she's looking for a teaching job and getting her license certified in North Dakota. So is there something that we can do on the base page to advertise those openings and direct them to the MPS website?
Yes, so I have no problem advertising on my school liaison page. And also the Airmen and Family Readiness Center has a page called Eyes on Jobs, and they push out job openings as well. So I can send over an email to the Airmen and Family Readiness Center so it's on their radar as well.
awesome.
Awesome. Thanks, Raquel. All right. We will move on to the cooperative agreement.
Okay, Scott will take care of that.
So each year, both boards need to review and approve the cooperative agreement that provides for the educational services for all the military-connected children in the district. The only change from 1 year prior is the dates on this. I don't have anything else to add unless there's a question, I guess. But we will need a board motion to approve it. And it allows for this district and district number 1 to plan for the future then for the next year.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve the cooperative agreement?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. Roll call, Scott.
Nemish,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Tanner,
Yes.
Bengals,
Yes.
me.
Yes. All right. Good deal. And then the audit report.
So hopefully you're all able to pull that up on your screens. It was sent out electronically. I'll give you just a real brief summary and then I'll have you turn to a couple pages. So we received our audit report at our last downtown meeting as well, and it was reported to us that both that audit and this audit were clean audits. There were no findings of any significance, real detrimental to the district. I would have you turn to page 2 and in the document, and just it's the paragraph titled Opinions. In our opinion, the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects the respective financial position of the governmental activities and each major fund of the Minot Air Force Base School District 160 as of June 30, 2020, and the respective changes in financial position for the year, and then ended in accordance with accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America. Basically saying what we say is there is actually there. And then on page 23, same kind of thing. This is the opinion on the major federal program, which is impact aid. And again, on page 23, the paragraph that starts with opinion on each major federal program. In our opinion, the Minot Air Force Base District number 160 complied in all material respects with the types of compliance requirements referred to above that could have a direct and material effect on each of its major federal programs for the year ended June 30th, 2020. So part of their requirement is that if you get X amount of dollars in federal revenue, they have to pull that program and do a more in-depth monitoring of that. And they did that, and they don't find any issues with that as well. So it's a good audit. All credit to LaDon and those people that work so hard, especially LaDon on the base one. Greatly appreciated. And you should probably have a motion also to approve or accept the audit report from Brady Marks.
All right, perfect. Do I have a motion to approve the audit?
I'll make a motion to approve the audit. Second.
All right, roll call.
Bengals,
Yes.
Minish,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Tanner,
Yes.
Keen.
Yes. All right, good deal. On to announcements.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, we have our next board meeting scheduled for March 9th. There will be no in-person NAFB spring conference, and I had a MISA meeting. I'm on the board for the Military Impacted Schools Association, and it is very sketchy as to whether or not there will be a fall conference. I think that decision will be made relatively soon. On another note, though, in talking with my colleagues today in that board meeting from around the country, we are blessed. We started with kids. We've been in person each and every day, and we are not struggling like other areas are struggling. So to all of you for your tolerance and putting up with us and for your support through all of this, I say thank you. I think we're in a very, very good spot right now, and we are happy to be able to have our kids in school, because around the nation they're struggling to determine whether or not they should be in or not, or is it safe to come in, and it's a national controversy right now, and we are not part of that. So that's a very good feeling. So thank you all very much, and wish you all the best, and hope that you all stay well. I did forget one thing, if you don't mind, in my COVID report. Thank you to Raquel for getting the ball rolling. We have our teachers on Minot Air Force Base were able to access the vaccine through public health. And that has been wonderful. So Raquel, thank you for leading the way on that and making those connections. We had about 55% of our teachers so far be vaccinated on the base, and we are waiting in town patiently, but we have a lot of folks that are anxious to get the vaccine, and but you know, the teachers on the base were able to do that. That was a wonderful thing, so thank you very much.
Absolutely. I'm so happy we were able to make that work, Dr. Vollmer. That's great news.
And if you got any more, I'll find a place for it to go. So
Absolutely. I'll keep asking.
I appreciate that. And that's all I have, Madam President. So I think we're good to be done, unless anybody else has any questions or announcements.
All right.
Madam President, if I may, this is Jim Rosted, and since I derive pleasure from starting something out, then almost immediately passing the ball to Dr. Vollmer, I just, as Kristen knows, the board is soliciting architectural plans to be the architect for the second high school up on old Cognizant building that we purchased. And And Dr. Holm will share in just a moment that there are many things to consider, and certainly Minot Air Force Base will play a part in this new high school, also this building, should we ever get a bond issue passed. And anyway, I just wanted, with that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Bomer and let him share his thoughts just a little bit on that.
Yes, thank you, Jim. Thank you for bringing that up. When we look at bonding, this is a little confusing because residents, people that live on the installation of Minot Air Force Base cannot vote on a bond issue in town. But the new high school, and if we do what we intend to do, that would create two comprehensive 912 high schools in town, with Central Campus becoming our third middle school. And that would give us then the opportunity to, to really give kids a lot of great opportunities, not divide our high school campus any longer. But there will be a lot of discussion moving forward about how we do that and what that academic programming will look like for military families as well as our in-town families. So it's going to be a great opportunity to move that forward because of the proximity, to the base being on the north side. That very well might be the school where our base students would attend. So we have a lot of discussion coming forward, and when the time comes, we'll be sharing more information out and having some architectural groups visiting with you, or the architectural group that we hire visit with you and do some brainstorming about what do we really want to see in a two high school system in Minot, North Dakota. So keep that on your mind, because one of these days, Jim or I will be coming to you and be saying, hey, have you thought about that? And who might want to help us with that process of gathering information from families. So it's an exciting time. 115,000 square feet on 40 acres and another smaller building. And it was essentially a donation from Cognizant. $10 is what we paid for the building. And it's exciting. And it is an excellent start, or a footprint for we believe a second high school in Minot. And but when we talk about this, that's going to involve some remodeling and things at Magic City, and some work at Central as well to make that a reality. But we're in an exciting time right now, and just wanted to let you know about that as well.
Perfect. And then, Dr. Bomer, are you guys going to have a committee of some sort when it comes to that architecture? I know you said you'd ask for feedback and such. But do we appoint somebody to a committee with that cooperative agreement we have?
That would be up to President Rosted. The agreement for the architect will be with it will be with Minot District 1, but that would be President Rosted's determination if he would want to appoint somebody from the base board to be on that committee as well. Okay.
Wonderful. Well, when that time comes, Jim, I'm sure someone on this board would love to be a part of it if you would have us.
And I never mind hearing from you guys. So if someone does have an interest in how that school is designed and built and our entire plan, you can reach out to me anytime, or first class me, and and if we go through the process, there may be something that comes up that whether you're on an actual committee or not, your input's always going to be welcome as board members. So you have that avenue to reach out to me anytime. So
you had a volunteer there. He's ready.
Yeah.
she had
yeah. We were doing so good this whole time. I apologize, Jim.
In my business, little baby, that's job security. All right. That's a good thing. So, okay. That's all I have, Madam President.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Any last minute issues or questions we have before I adjourn? All right. Meeting is adjourned on that. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Bye now.
Thanks, everyone.